My first live video on YouTube. Today's topic is about the blockchain and what we can do to save it. So, if you love blockchain, in this video I want to talk about stuff that you can do and how you can play a part to basically keep cryptocurrency going the way it is, and the blockchain development goes on. So, what we're seeing today is really an extension of continued weakening in the total market capitalization, because there's a lot of money outflow from cryptocurrencies. Obviously, that people are like divesting their crypto holdings and converting back to fiat currency. Why is this happening? This is happening because like it first started with the Korean governments renewing discussions about like banning um, like the trading of cryptos, cracking down exchanges. They want to do away with the anonymity that crypto traders in South Korea have right now. And then, furthermore, the Chinese are back into uh, talks about regulations again, and it's just so convenient that the different governments like Germany, a bunch of other countries, they're all jumping in at the same time, basically doing like a blanket party on the whole crypto space. So that's what's happening. That's what's causing this continued fall. So I want you guys to understand a little bit more about like why is there this kind of oscillation in the price so much this week. All right, there's a lot of price oscillation for a couple of reasons. Uh, One of the main reasons is because there's been a very big rise lately. We all know that Bitcoin hit 20K a couple of weeks back, and Ethereum has been on record highs this 1-2 weeks as well. So what's that got to do with anything? All right, the more the spikes, the more movement there is to normalize. So like for every movement that happens, there needs to be uh, you know uh, it's a spring back effect, and there's more spring back that's going to happen. And but then again, if you're saying, all right, if all this is spring back, this what's going on right now? Okay, so right now what's happening is that the market is trying to find its bottom, and how a bottom is being established, right, is basically when we have an equal volume of buyers versus sellers. So when we have an equal number of buyers and sellers, it creates an equilibrium. If we have more buyers than sellers, the price goes up. If we have more sellers than buyers, the price continues to go down. So when you see that the price seems to stabilize, for example, today, uh, it seemed as though during the Asian session and the Europe session that there were bullish signs that the market has probably found its bottom, and a retrace, or rather the continuation of its upward journey was going to continue. But what then happened instead was that when it came to the around the time of the New York Open, um, or let's say the mountainous zones of United States, we see that um, from a stochastics point of view, yes, it was going back up from the oversold category, oversold area, back into a good healthy trading range. However, uh, when the New York session opened, basically it actually the bearish signs continued. So the stochastics, the faster line crossed back down, and that's exactly what we've seen. The If you've been watching the relative strength index, the RSI, actually kind of like flattened out for a bit and then went back down into the oversold area. So it's back down there, and what I want to speak to you guys about is that if you love blockchain, uh, what we can do to save it is that, I mean, everyone out there instinctively is just thinking that, okay, let's just cut loss, right? Everyone's thinking that, oh dear, I should bail now and keep the cash that I have. Some people think that, okay, let's bail out now and let's get back in later on. But the reality of that is that you're not actually helping out. Um, you're thinking that if we just all take out and we'll get back in at some point, uh, like the very reason why ICOs even give incentives on holding the token beyond a certain date. For example, they'll say that they'll airdrop this thing, or let's say they partner with a different company initiative, and they say that if you keep tokens in your wallet uh, between this day and this day, a snapshot will be taken, and we're going to give you some airdrop. Why? Okay, why do these things happen? These things happen because um, they want to help to protect themselves against a huge devaluation of their cryptocurrency, or more importantly, even if there wasn't devaluation, uh, the dilution of their liquidity. So uh, on every ICO launch, when a price opens on a few exchanges, it goes through 3 times, 4 times, if you're lucky, 5, 6, 7, 8 times, and during that time, the people who do the pump and dump, like they call it the whales, that's when they tend to dump their holdings, cash out a profit, uh, and that actually, so it doesn't make a point, okay? Uh, a company doing a fundraiser, they could have a soft cap, they could have a hard cap, and then it doesn't, like, there's no point at all, even if the hard cap is reached, because when it hits the exchange, they're only left with a soft cap after people do the sell off. All right, so this is that's the biggest fear of like ICO launches. But you know what? I had the fortune of meeting uh, the the boss of Neo. Okay, Neo is one of the most powerful Ethereum compatible platforms in China, Mr. Da Fei, right? Mr. Hong Da Fei, and what he said was that uh, he's not concerned with all the speculation trading in the market. It's not really going to leave much of an impact unless it's going to be something like a 80%, 90% drop. All right, so that is something that we definitely want to guard the market against. There are many of the coins in the top 50 on CoinMarketCap that have taken really, really bad hits, 50, 60, 70% hits. And what do you think that's going to do for the R&D, the salaries department, um, the equipment purchase? Um, it's it's quite disturbing. We know that when things seem they're going to get better, investors will come back in, pump the price value up. But if they have contracts that are supposed to be honored in terms of like purchase agreements, blah blah blah, equipment, sales salaries, and all that, uh, I just want to say that it may seem like a sensible thing to do, to kind of like just cash out at this point, but if you care about blockchain, if you want this to be the next official form of currency, uh, we need to make it stable. All right. Uh, the same reasons why many countries now have ways to, have like policies to curb the housing from speculation. They kind of like mandate you to have a minimum live-in period, or they put on a stamp duty that's enforced against you if you kind of bail out within too short a period of time, or let's say you have to pay more tax and whatever uh, various duties and or let's say even like capital gains tax if you sell out before a certain amount of time. That's actually to ensure stability. So what the crypto world lacks right now is stability, and the lack of stability is caused by an excess amount of speculation. Um, and coming back to the very topic of why things are falling, okay, it's uh, like it seems as though at this point of time, the governments must be smiling because they probably ganged up on this. Quite obviously, they have ganged up on this to make the fear and uncertainty and distortion, FUD they call it, set into people's minds, and kind of confirm uh, in the minds of a newbie their biggest fears came true, and to make them think that damn it, I should have just kept the money in my bank account. Maybe it's not for me. Maybe it's just for this guy and that guy. Um, so that is what uh, that is what the government wants to happen, because they all know very well that blockchain and cryptocurrency will be the demise of fiat currency. It will be the demise of banks. Even uh, Prime Minister Netanyahu of Israel, he says that you know uh, banks will be gone in 10 years if crypto and blockchain keeps up the way it's headed. There's just no sense of people putting money in banks, because there's more interest to be made. There is more like there's more secrecy for some, and at the same time, there is more liquidity as well. There's more ease of transaction. So many things kind of like work against banks. Uh, so if you guys are, you know, if you guys think that blockchain is the future, you think that crypto is the way to go, let's stop the sell down. All right, let's stop it by holding on to what we have and starting to think of it as bargain hunting time. The big boys in the markets are probably also looking at bargain hunting. The big firms are the ones that really uh, have the means to manipulate the markets. If you think about it, where we're at is the total market cap is no lower than what it is about 35 days ago. So what's the fuss, right? The market cap is no lower than it was 35 days ago. So it's still the same old, same old. Um, and like if we can put some stability back into this, all right? The big boys, what happened 35 days ago is the end of the year, like around Christmas, right? So around Christmas, the year end, like when companies are stopping, what they do is that they take their funds out. The big companies and conglomerates that have put their monies in cryptocurrencies, they have taken their monies out only to put it in at the beginning of the year. So when you look at January the 3rd, January the 4th, you see boom, we see the crypto markets going up 160 billion, and that's obviously the work of the big boys, right? So right now the big boys are probably on their tenterhooks as well. They're wondering, should we do this, should we not do this? And then they're going in, going out. That's why we see, like, on a daily basis, this is nothing new. If you look at the end of December, it's the same price behavior. Between the morning and the evening, we're seeing a price fluctuation of 50 billion market cap per day. This is normal, okay? And right now, for the next few days, I wouldn't be surprised it's going to come back again. However, notice that the market does go in, it goes in swings. And what happens if it goes on a sideway too long? All right. What is a sideway really? A sideway movement in the market is a consolidation. If you take your computer screen and you tilt it a little bit, 45 degrees to your right, now that sideway looks like a part of a swing. It's like a bit of a pullback. And what happens after that? There's going to be another swing up. And that swing up, if we put our screen back down to where it's supposed to be flat, alright, from that sideway, it's going to go on the next stair step up. So it's gone up, it's gone this way, it's gone this way, alright. Next thing is, it's going to go up. So if you hang on, I guarantee you there's reward. As long as blockchain keeps up, as long as there is money for the developers to develop the system to make blockchain mature into what it's supposed to be. A lot of the concepts, a lot of the ICOs were all basically just concepts, and they're like some formulas, nodes here and there to make things work, but You know, it still takes time for all these great ideas to be realized. So let's help these ideas come into fruition, you know, by backing up the industry, you know, by rather than thinking of like, oh dear, it's really, it would be better for speculation if I got out now and come back in later. Let's replace that with, you know, let's help the market stabilize. It's going to be good for us. At the same time, you know, it's if it stabilizes, we can show the people that are trying to shut down blockchain, shut down crypto, that it's not going to be easy. We're not going to be so easily shaken. All right. Uh, that's all I want to share with you guys. I didn't mean to sound too preachy, but um, it's interesting. You know, like I I'm not a programmer. I am not like I'm hopeless with the sciences of blockchain, but I appreciate what it is and what it plans to do for the world, to change the way we do transactions, to make things a lot more transparent, to make things a lot more traceable and less manipulatable, uh, to help like stabilize us against the, you know, the paybacks of quantitative easing. We've seen that many times in the United States and how that's hurt the strength of the dollar. Bitcoin is a limited supply. I think it's like when I last checked, it was like 20. It's like 80% in circulation already. 20% is balance. So when that goes on to, you know, zero available, that's when I think there's going to be stability. But in the meantime, let's try not to be so speculative. All right, let's look at it as property, because when we have property, like houses and everything, leave it there for like a couple of years, the price definitely going to go up, uh, and huge amounts as well, depending on when you enter. And when you sell the property, it's definitely a huge payout. But then again, the question is stability. How did stability come into property and real estate? It came about because people started to understand that if we didn't put it here, if we didn't put our money in this piece of property, where else are we going to put it? Or let's say if even if I got a really good offer on the house at this point, but because prices in general went up already, I would have to find another place, possibly even downgrade, in order to cash out some part of a profit. So so that is what needs to happen in the crypto world, so that prices will stabilize. It will take time, but you know, like if everyone gets wussy about the whole thing, selling when people sell, um, and like buying late, that ain't gonna do anything. So I hope you see the point of this video. Uh, I hope I've been able to help you guys understand a little bit about what drives prices up and down. And you know, if you found this useful, please share it. And apologize for the audio quality. Wasn't actually thinking of making this video. It wasn't on the plan, but whilst so I left my condenser mic back at home. But I just thought that, you know, you guys need to hear this message. So if this made some kind of sense to you, or if you have some reflection onto the things that I've mentioned in this video, leave your comments down below. I'd like to hear from you. Bye for now. Trading. Okay, let's see how to end this.